A candle loses nothing by lighting another candle.
My wish for you as now we part is for greater peace to fill your heart with dreams as vast as starry space. So hurt and anger know no place. May truth be shared and wounds be healed, and joy for living be revealed through every fate and circumstance. May hope lead weary steps to dance. Your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing with the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. May fears be turned with keen insight to wisdom for what's just and right. Where sorrows grow, compassion strong, and pains will pass before too long. May the bounds of our diversity serve a richer harmony. May courage hold your heart so true to smile on love when it smiles on you. May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing with the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night. May your life be as a song, resounding with the dawn, to sing with the light and softly serenade the stars, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night, ever dancing circles in the night.
This choir is fabulous. Honestly, seriously, just the clothes alone is just amazing to me. It's good to be with all of you today. I'm glad you all made it out, even in spite of a little bit of weather. Today we are celebrating Hanukkah. It is the first night of Hanukkah. And so every year we put aside one Sunday to dive deeply into the Jewish tradition. So let us begin. In the dark of the season, in the dark of the time, in the dark of the city, we are a people of fire. In the cold of the season, in the cold of the time, in the cold of the city, we are a people of fire. In the mystery of the season, in the uncertainty of the times, in the fragility of the city, we are a people of fire. Abandoning a life of dark and cold and uncertainty, we gather on Sundays to remember together how to be a people of fire. Please rise in body or spirit. Let's sing together the hymn, Light One Candle, which is in your hymnal and in your program. 221.
And let us light one candle, because our services always begin with fire. We light the chalice, the fire that guides and unites our church, kindling the flame of love that burns at the center of our faith. And please join me in reciting our unison affirmation. Unto the Church Universal, which is the depository of all ancient wisdom and the school of all modern thought, which recognizes in all prophets a harmony, in all scriptures a unity, and through all dispensations a continuity, which abjures all that separates and divides, and always magnifies humanity and peace, which seeks truth in freedom, justice in love, and individual discipline in social duty, and which shall make of all persons one beloved community. Unto this church and unto all its members, known and unknown throughout the world, we pledge the allegiance of our hands and hearts. It's good to see so many of you here today, even as the snow falls outside, and it's great to hopefully feel the presence of those joining online. Now is the time in our service where we take a moment to greet each other. We do this because we believe in the power of radical welcome and inclusion, and we believe that it's important to say hello to one another as part of our service. Please greet your neighbor.
Good to see you. As you make your way back to your seats, let's sing our children to their classes.
You can be seated, everyone. It's so great to see you all here this afternoon. We take just a second to reflect on the moment, on what we are carrying into this space, on what might have been waiting in the pews for us before we even arrived. And there's some heavy things in the air. As we celebrate Hanukkah today, we think about the Jewish folks who were killed in Sydney. 11 killed, 29 injured. That's sitting heavy in this space this morning and in our hearts. There's a shooting at Brown. There's the violence of our own state in the Caribbean. There's ICE. The killing continues in Gaza. There's so much that we hold, but we don't hold it alone. I mean, the folks I'm thinking about this morning are people who don't have anybody, who have nowhere to go, who don't have a place like this to pour out the heaviness of our hearts, but we do. We have each other. And as we pray and preach, as we sing and as we sit in the silence, we hold one another. So let's hold each other together this morning as we listen for the chime. Let's pray together. Whatever position, whatever orientation makes the most sense to you. We begin to pray by drawing near to our source of strength. God or gods or ancestors or principles. We find some anchor for our spirits that have been worn threadbare. In these days, as we ache with the world around us, we choose to return to the home we always carry safe in some corner of ourselves. Some place that can never be taken from us. Here, among the family we've chosen, we pour out the truth of our lives, knowing we will be held in the warmth of the love we share with one another. What do our words mean, however intensely articulated or genuinely meant? What could they ever accomplish in the face of the forces that kill without care, that luxuriate in their license to dominate and destroy? Like Sisyphus, returning Sunday after Sunday to shoulder the burden, to beat back against the tide of hatred and death, the toil is unending, and we wonder, can our love mean something before we lose it? Can our light be a source of hope for someone before it goes out? The wax is melted into a mess, the wick is charred to nothing, and our flame gasps for air. whatever source we can find. We ask for the miracle of Hanukkah to be made real in our lives. We need the gift of renewed vision and fresh fuel. We need the burning of a fire for justice and struggle that crackles hot with revolutionary potential. We need a people possessed by a spirit of liberation, mad with the possibility of making another world, convinced that victory is inevitable, no matter the odds. Our souls meld into this collective purpose. A power begins to course through us and it cannot be stopped. A fire grows in our bones and builds in our bellies. Some fearsome and beautiful thing is blossoming in us. We come forward to light these candles. We think of the Hanukkah story and the nearness of liberation. These candles invite us into a new narrative unfolding among us. When you light your candle, consider your part in this new story. Come forward when you're ready. without you, your candle would not burn, and we would be weaker for it. The flame you've lit signifies the power of your partnership in this collective struggle, and it will burn beyond whatever limits the world might set for it. It will be taken up into the holy logic of Hanukkah and the ancient truth it holds. Some mystery moves us toward unspeakable beauty and inexhaustible freedom.
Today's wisdom story is entitled The Odd Potato by Eileen Bluestone Sherman. Rachel looked everywhere for the Hanukkah menorah. When she asked her dad to help her find it, he just shrugged and mumbled something about the attic. He had not been any help last year either. Since his wife's death, a long 18 months ago, Mr. Levy had shown no interest in holidays. Their sparkle had been snuffed out by his sorrow. He still prayed at the synagogue, but celebrations were another story. Last Hanukkah, Rachel and her brother, Sammy, had spent the week with their cousins in Minneapolis. But this year, the Levi family would be home. Still, Rachel was not discouraged. She had saved enough money from her weekly allowance to buy gifts for her father and brother, along with dreidels and candles from the synagogue gift shop. Now her only problem was to locate the family menorah. Except for a few dollars or two, her money was spent. A new menorah was out of the question, and she didn't dare ask her father again about the old one. Rachel remembered how much her mother had loved that menorah. It was one of the few possessions Rachel's grandmother brought with her to America, but her father did not want to use it. He must have had a good reason. Rachel decided she would concentrate on making latkes instead. She watched carefully in Hebrew school when Mrs. Rosenblum showed the class how to make the batter. She remembered watching her mother follow the very same steps each Hanukkah. Those times had always been very special. Cooking was fun, but even better was listening to her mother tell wonderful stories about her own childhood. Without fail, Sammy would run in by barging into the kitchen and demanding his turn to stir. The lovely calm would then turn to chaos. It seems that all that Sammy had to do was look at the bowl and batter splattered from ceiling to floor. But Rachel's mother's latkes were always scrumptious. She was not certain her own potato pancakes could match up, but she was determined to try. The afternoon before the first night of Hanukkah, Rachel stopped by Weintraub's grocery for a bag of potatoes, but she couldn't find a single one. The bin was empty. Rachel began to cry. "Rachel!" exclaimed Mr. Weintraub, "don't be silly. Who cries over potatoes? I'll have more tomorrow. Buy rice instead." "You can't make latkes from rice, Mr. Weintraub," Rachel sobbed. "You have a point," he agreed. "Wait here. I'll see what I can do." He disappeared into his back room. Mr. Weintraub returned a minute later, holding a very odd-looking potato. "It's not much," he admitted. "All of my shoppers kept throwing it back into the bin. It's not rotten, it just looks funny. I suppose one potato won't make a lot of latkes, but it's the best I can do. Take it with my compliments." Rachel studied the curious potato for a moment and suddenly screamed with delight. "Oh, Mr. Weintraub, thank you. This is perfect. It's just right. Thank you a million times." As Rachel rushed out of the store, Mr. Weintraub just shook his head and smiled. Sammy greeted his sister as she walked through the door. "Where have you been? What's in the bag?" "I was at the groceries to buy potatoes," she answered. Sammy grinned and squealed, "Oh, great! We'll make latkes just like old times." He grabbed the bag from his sister's hands and the odd potato fell to the floor. Sammy made a face. "Oh, gross," he explained. "Cancel the latkes." Rachel smiled. "Don't worry, kid. You're not eating latkes tonight. I'm saving this potato for something more important." Sammy looked puzzled. "Oh yeah? What?" "Come into the kitchen and see." Sammy followed Rachel to the sink and washed her carefully, scrubbed and dried the mysterious potato. "So now what?" he asked. Rachel could no longer contain her excitement. "Don't you see, Sammy? It's perfect. For some reason, Daddy doesn't want to use our beautiful menorah, and I don't have the money to buy a new one. Until this afternoon, I have completely given up on lighting candles, but when I saw the potato, I remembered a story Mommy used to tell me. She always said, we were lucky to have such a beautiful Hanukkah menorah. When her daddy was a little boy, her family was so poor they couldn't afford a real one, so they used the potato to hold the candles." Suddenly, Sammy understood. "Oh, neat! It's perfect!" That evening, before the family sat down to dinner, Rachel quietly reminded her father that it was the first night of Hanukkah. Mr. Levy smiled and says, "Yes, honey, I haven't forgotten. In fact, this afternoon I spoke to your Uncle Louie and your Hanukkah treat is all arranged. You and Sammy are flying to Minneapolis this weekend for a wonderful celebration." "That's great," Sammy piped up. "But we don't have to wait. Come into the kitchen. We've got a surprise for you." Mr. Levy did not know what to expect, but when he saw the odd potato holding candles, his voice trembled with emotion. As he spoke, "Children, it's beautiful. Your mother would be very proud. Let us light the candles." Together they chanted the blessings as Rachel lit the candles. After dinner, they played with the dreidels Rachel had bought and congratulated her on the present she had chosen. At bedtime, Rachel confessed to her father that she would like a special Hanukkah gift. Mr. Levy smiled. "That seems only fair," he said. Anything in particular?" "Yes, Daddy. Please help me find our Hanukkah menorah. The potato is nice, but is not the same." "You're right, Rachel," he said. "Tonight I realized how much I too miss Mommy's beautiful menorah. Wait, we'll look for it in the morning." The next night, the family chanted the blessings for the second night of Hanukkah. Standing side by side were the two beautiful menorahs. Oh, thank you. I got a little tongue-tied in parts.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap to seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
In the 2nd century, before the Common Era, King Antiochus IV wanted unity demonstrated through assimilation in his corner of the Roman Empire. To get it, he targeted outsiders, especially the Jews who refused to stop religious practices like studying the Torah and observing the Sabbath. To make his point, he desecrated the temple, erecting an altar to Zeus within its walls. A Jewish priest named Matthias and his 5 sons, known as the Maccabees, led a rebellion, and despite being vastly outnumbered, they won, driving the empire's soldiers out of Jerusalem, at least temporarily. Once they got back into the temple, they cleansed it of those things they considered idols, rebuilt the altar and started to rededicate it, but found only enough oil to last a single day. The oil needed to stay lit until they could get more, because the continually burning light was necessary for the dedication. Miraculously, the oil burned for 8 nights, and the dedication was completed without interruption, giving the Maccabees the symbolic victory they needed to ground their military victory as a religious triumph. That is the simplest version of this story that I can tell. And it's likely the one everybody here already knows. So I'm going to add a little texture. This battle can be seen as a fight against an invader or occupier, but a deeper look tells us this is actually more of a civil war between 2 Jewish groups and modes of living. This was a culture war. On the one hand, we have the people we'll call the globalists. These are the people who enjoyed Roman life. They were drawn to the many different kinds of people who were living in Jerusalem. They appreciated the languages, the customs, the culture of the newcomers, and felt richer as a result of the diversity they were encountering. On the other hand, we have the traditionalists. These were people who wanted to protect the life they thought they were losing with so many new cultures in the city. They didn't like the introduction of the new and wanted to keep things as they remember them. Added to this internal struggle, there's a whole lot of external pressure. The empire was heavily in debt, and they'd imposed steep taxes on all the people. Folks were struggling to support themselves and resented having to subsidize a massive governmental system on top of it. So while some saw the inclusion of Greek and Roman influence as compelling and enriching, others saw it as intrusive and debilitating. The more Antiochus viewed Jewish distinctiveness as a threat, the more he tried to gain unity, the more divided the Jews became. The king was eccentric and tyrannical in his attempts to eradicate difference, earning him the nickname the Mad from his critics. The Maccabee violence wasn't just targeting occupying forces. It was also targeting other Jews. The guerrilla war the Maccabees waged was kicked off in its first act against both a Roman soldier and a fellow Jew who was seen as accommodating the empire. So this is where I get very stuck in this story. This isn't a story primarily of a struggle between a beleaguered, persecuted minority against a foreign, evil oppressor. It's an internal struggle between a group of educated, adaptable, inclusive Jews and a band of reactionary, zealous priests, those for and those against DEI. Rabbi James Ponit tells us that read in its historical context, the Hanukkah story is really about a revolt against Hellenized Jews who had fallen madly in love with the sophisticated, globalizing superculture of the day. Here's where it gets sticky. That's us, people. We are the Hellenized, globalized Jews. The story is problematic and maybe even surprisingly relevant for me, because today's urban Jews are far more likely to identify with the losers in the story. We are living through a culture war of our own, even one that occasionally becomes violent. We are split between a cosmopolitan, globalized urban elite and a proud, self-isolating, traditional rural populace who are armed and ready to use force to resist what they perceive as political and/or religious oppression. It is unsettling, as is the realization that our historical counterpart is the group being villainized, vanquished by red-blooded Maccabees wearing Make Israel Great Again hats. So, all is not lost. I wonder often, every year we come around to this story, and every year I think, how do I tell this story? I do believe there is great wisdom to be found in the ancient stories. To find it, we're going to have to look beyond the traditional right versus wrong narrative, declaring the constrictive and reactionary Maccabees as the keepers of truth and righteousness, even if they did give us some great stories and a sweet light in the dark tradition around the winter solstice. Rather than perpetuating a vapid triumphalism, I think the story provides an opportunity for us to wonder about balance, about what it means to be both part of a culture with its own rich history and to participate in a diverse society. How do we cherish and nurture time-honored rituals while also being open and receptive to new ideas? How do we claim individual identity, identity with a group, and also allow ourselves to become enchanted by the exquisite beauty of another culture? My answer to how is yes. Yes, we can balance these things. Yes, we can love who we are and love who other people are. What we can't do is extremism, which frankly both sides of this Hanukkah story are guilty of. The Hellenized Jews, according to the story, went too far. They let go of their own culture to assimilate into someone else's. They sacrificed pigs at Zeus's altar. They ate pork with Roman friends. There are accounts of men trying to get themselves uncircumcised, an act I'd prefer not to give even a moment's thought. And the Maccabees, conversely, were fundamentalists who enforced their own extreme version of their religious viewpoints, not allowing for a diversity of thought or the introduction of an expansive vision of the world. Their temporary victory eventually led them into tyranny and political defeat, leading ultimately to the final destruction of the temple a few centuries later. It's not easy to balance tradition and discovery, isolation and hospitality, identity and diversity. Society requires dexterity. And here's where we circle back to the story. While we are holding this us and them, this and that, what we come back to is that the story tells us that in moments when there didn't seem to be enough, when you had to make choices, there actually was enough. They thought there was only oil to burn for one day, but they took the risk, lit the oil, and found that they had the fire they needed, making their temple the sacred space they craved. The victory here wasn't military, but about living into the miracle of having enough. The holiday season can feel depleting. The joy and mystery can, under the right circumstances, feel exhausting, empty, maybe performative. We wake to news of massacres. It is exhausting. The metaphor of fighting to survive, only to find that you win the temple but can't hold it or fully claim it because there isn't enough oil. And it'll take more than a week to get what you need, might just be where people are right now. That feeling of we're just never going to get there, given the larger political and economic realities of our moment. The oil's gonna burn out. But the wisdom of the ancestors tells us a different story, an unexpected story. Over and over, in every tradition and religious language, we are told there is enough. We don't have to wage war, don't have to learn the tactics of urban guerrilla fighters. We don't have to turn against our own or against anyone else in fear that we will be disappeared. There is enough. We have enough. We are enough. We are enough even when we can't find common ground. We are enough even when natural resources are diminishing. We are enough even when there isn't enough light, even when our holy spaces are desecrated, even when joy or balance are slightly out of reach. We are enough when our story is incomplete and we can't find the road that leads us to happily ever after. Our stories are problematic, our heroes are imperfect, and sometimes even the good guys are wrong. And yet, every year, the Hanukkah story reminds us that there is, we have, we are enough. And as we celebrate being enough, today is a new member Sunday, which means that there are people here who would like to be in intentional relationship with this congregation. I'm going to call up Connor, who is our Director of Community Engagement. Do you all know Connor? And then I'm going to call up anyone who would like to join the church. Please come forward. I know that you're here. You told me you're joining. You stand right there. You're good. So everyone can see you. Community Church of New York. You're good. These are the people who are going to enter intentional relationship with this congregation. They want to be part of who we are. They know we are imperfect, and they know it is enough. Community Church of New York is a community of seekers. Some people come here to find a home and want to be part of our faith community. After a period of discernment, new members write their name in our membership book as a sign of their commitment to our mission. This practice dates from our early founding centuries ago, when new members signed the covenant created by each congregation in Puritan New England churches. I'm going to hand over, go ahead.
We continue this practice as a symbol of our commitment to our faith, to our mission, to our covenant, and to each other. And today we're welcoming some precious new folks. And I would love for each of you to just introduce yourselves really quick, just your name.
Katie Garcia.
Nina Bernstein. Harriet Singer.
It is a joy to welcome you into our community of memory and hope.
So we have some questions for you, and if you agree, I'm going to ask you to say yes after each one, okay? Will you journey with us sharing the joys and responsibilities of membership?
Yes. Will you join our caring community, becoming witnesses for each other's lives?
Yes.
Will you endeavor to become part of our community of faith, aspiring to our principles and working with us toward our mission to embrace the transforming vision of beloved community, a just world in which everyone can share equitably in the wealth of this world?
Yes.
If you are a member of this congregation, can you raise your hand? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. And if you agree, you say, we will, okay? Will you welcome these new members into our congregation? Will you? Oh. All right, we'll do it separately. Go ahead, you're on. All right. Will you reach out to them in friendship, including them in our activities? Will you be open to their unique gifts and perspectives?
By signing this book, you commit yourselves to a moral and spiritual purpose, to be faithful to the inherent responsibilities of religious freedom. You commit yourself to uphold the spirit of human worth and dignity and to engage in an honest search for truth. You commit yourselves to give as generously as you can to serve our shared mission. You commit yourselves to carry on and enrich the spiritual heritage we have received from previous generations.
Ours is a shared ministry. Each member has a critical role to play. We need everyone's energy and ideas. May each one of us renew our commitment to this congregation as we continue our journey together. We celebrate your presence among us. We commit ourselves to making you an integral part of our community. May your energy and enthusiasm be a source of joy and new life for everyone. Together, let's welcome them. Worship today, there's cake, so please stay and join us. But something else is happening after worship today. Does anyone remember what it is? I hope to see all of you back here at 5 o'clock for the concert that we have all been anxiously awaiting. Jill also wanted me to tell you that our goal for coats was 50. We hope to get 50 coats. We already have 35 coats, which is very cool. We have a few more weeks, 15 more coats to meet our goal. So if you have some winter coats you would like to donate, we would love to receive them. And so, let us be companioned by gratitude, directed by empathy, greeted by joy. And as we go from here, let love be our guide as we continue wisely, boldly walking each other home. Let's extinguish our chalice. We send our light into the world where healing and hope are needed. Let us go to love and serve this world and one another. Good to be with you.